Hey, how you guys doing? I just wanted to take a moment and voice my opinion on something that is happening in my community. Um, and I hope by doing so, I can encourage the rest of you guys to maybe do the same if you feel as passionate about it as I do. As many of you may have heard or may have not, that the OLG Gaming Commission has selected this region to host a 300 plus slot machine gaming facility. Wasaga Beach, Clearview Township, and the town of Collingwood were all asked to weigh out the pros and cons of the OLG coming to their community and the impact that it would have. Georgia Manor Resort of Collingwood showed much interest in hosting this gaming facility and went as far as to say that they would upgrade their facility to meet the requirements that the Gaming Commission requires. They proposed to build a performing arts center which would have the latest state-of-the-art hologramic technology, allowing you to watch everyone from the Beatles to Elvis perform live, even Michael Jackson. Just imagine what that could do for our Elvis Fest. As well as building a business convention center and multiple new restaurants and new rooms. Um, the town of Collingwood printed off questionnaires and surveys asking the residents of Collingwood how they felt about the OLG coming to their town. Well over half, 66% to be exact, of you said they wanted it here in Collingwood. Uh, if it was coming to the area, they wanted it nowhere else. There are many perks to it coming to our region. Money that OLG gives the hosting community could go to our town's debt, fixing roadways, local education, public parks, a new town bus, which I know that the town council has been discussing in their last meeting, which said it could cost somewhere of 400,000 some odd dollars. Um, Even money that OLG grants the hosting community, which potentially could be Collingwood, could go to our new hospital, which, if you ask anybody who works over at our hospital, it so desperately needs. The hundreds of new jobs it would bring in construction, security, and the service industry for years to come as it would continue to grow and expand. Instead of seeing these new businesses and entrepreneurs come to our town, open their businesses, only to see a year from now them to close their doors for good indefinitely. Maybe we'll start actually seeing um, up and coming entrepreneurs want to look at Collingwood as a destination for their local enterprise. Which brings me to the whole point of this mission statement, which I like to call it. I work in this restaurant industry, and I live here in Collingwood, and I have now for 8 some years now. Anyone in this industry in Collingwood would agree that business is hurting. The last few winters, the snow has been dismal, and every year it's less and less. When I first moved to Collingwood, our winters were from late October right through until February the following year. As we all know, snow brings tourism to the area from all over the globe. A lot of people in my industry relied on this season to make the majority of their money to compensate for the spring when all businesses here in Collingwood can anticipate it to be slow. Let's face it, Collingwood is not pulling the tourism it once did. Without our precious snow during our winter season, what do we have? These avid skiers and snowboarders are now traveling further north and even out west to Whistler, British Columbia, for the ideal weather conditions that their sport demands. When I heard that OLG was considering coming to Collingwood, I was so excited for everybody in this area. I thought this was our godsend. This was the answer and what seemed to be a no-brainer. Local businesses would have the year-round tourism to bring in business, which is so desperately needed. With all this said, the town council then proceeds to take the matter completely in their own hands, and without even considering what the people want for their town, they vote 5-4 against the gaming facility coming to Collingwood and then sealing its fate. To not even consider the wants and needs of its town and its residents. To allow their own personal beliefs overshadow the overwhelming positive response to OLG coming to Collingwood. I understand the complications that a gambling facility could potentially bring. Addictions, substance abuse, and even violence. However, gambling is already in our community. It's in our convenience stores, it's in our gas station malls, and it's even on the internet. We surely cannot hide from it. And just by saying no to it coming to Collingwood does not mean we will avoid these issues altogether. Especially when it does, and it will, come to one of our adjacent communities. Collingwood hosts the only hospital in the quote-unquote C7 zone. We would receive no perks that OLG would bring to its hosted community, but just the hypothetic burdens. Town Council also stated that they were worried about all the money that people spent at local businesses and that it would be plunged down the throats of the OLG's slot machines. They feel local businesses would suffer from this. However, the gamblers in our town already travel to the hosting communities to spend their dollars there. If it goes to Wasaga Beach, do you not think the gamblers in our town are going to drive 20 minutes out of town to play and to spend their dollar there in that town? So my point is, the dollar is going to be spent out of Collingwood completely. How many Collingwood residents is going to travel out of town to go spend their money? I am concerned for the town of Collingwood and its local businesses and employees, as I am one. I feel if action is not taken soon, many of us are going to be forced to relocate to a town where where there are jobs and where the employment rate is steady. A town that does not rely on its tourism to fuel its economy. A town that is not afraid of change. I know there are others out there that feel the same way I do, and now is our time to stand up and voice our opinion and see if we can come together and force our voice to be heard and press for the change we so desperately need. Please comment on this video. I'm going to put it up on YouTube. I'm going to be creating a Facebook page. I'm really trying to encourage everybody to comment on this. Anybody that feels as passionate as I do, let's stir something up. Let's see if we can rally the troops, so to speak, and see if we can overturn this, because this is our time. This is we have to change, and we have to accommodate OLG coming to this town. Everybody really needs to weigh out the pros and cons and really give it some honest thought as to what it can do for everybody and not just themselves. We need to do something before it's too late. Thanks, guys.